Hey guys, let's talk about postulates and paragraph proofs. And before we get to this proof, we have to talk about some of our properties. Reflexive property is where x equals x. Symmetric property is where we reverse the equation statement. So if 3 equals x, then x equals 3. If a equals b and b equals x, then a equals x. That's the transitive property. When you simplify something or replace something of equal value, that is substitution. Midpoint theorem, if b is the midpoint of segment AC, then that means that segment AB is congruent to segment BC. Angle bisector, if ray BC bisects angle ABD, then that means angle ABC is congruent to angle CBD. If y is the midpoint of segment XZ, prove that YZ equals XY. So we are given, we always start a paragraph proof or a two-column proof with the given, so I'm just going to state that y is the midpoint of segment XZ. I then say, oh, since it's the midpoint, I know that that's going to create two congruent segments. Okay, so then I'm going to be able to say that segment XY is congruent to segment YZ, I'm showing on the diagram, by the midpoint theorem. Excellent. Now that I say that they are congruent to each other, I can now say their measures are equal to each other. So I can now say xy is equal to yz, and that's just by the definition of congruent segments. However, this doesn't look exactly like what I'm trying to prove. It looks like the order is flipped or reversed. So in order to reverse it back to what I need, I can now say yz is equal to xy, and that would be by the symmetric property. A lot of steps when we're doing proofs. We just have to know all of our properties and make a game plan and go for it. Good job.